Fragrance fraternity, stand up. I thought I'd play us a little bit of music, get us going today. All right, all right. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're feeling good today and smelling good. You know what we're doing here? We're spraying ourselves down at the Fragrance Fraternity, letting it be known, letting that sillage radiate. And I got some good fragrance to tell you guys about today. Bangers, straight bangers. So we're going to get into it. But first, as you know, we got to go through the scent of the day. Today, I went with a throwback 1 million cologne. Yeah, running dangerously low. Don't worry, backup is on the way. One of the only rose fragrances I really rock with, especially lately. Not been the biggest fan of rose. Usually comes off a little feminine to my nose, but for some reason, I think it's the nostalgia really that I rock with this one a lot. I think I still like Lucky and the Parfum more. I put this in third place, but this one's really cool. And like I said, one of the only rose fragrances I really rock with. You see the dent, kind of get that Invictus Aqua type freshness, but yeah, man, that rose really is prominent, and it might strike you a little feminine, even though it's not even marketed as unisex. It's marketed as masculine, but yeah, just that rose dominance does give it a little bit of a feminine touch. Definitely not going to be for everyone out there, but if you want something a little bit different and you're not afraid to kind of stand out with your scent, which I know pretty much everyone watching this probably isn't, because you're all aficionados of sorts. You may want to get your nose on this one. It is discontinued, and I think stock is slowly dwindling. One day it will be out, and these bottles are going to cost a lot more than they are now. And I think they look pretty nice. They're only ones that come with a cap. So 1 million cologne, scent of the day, throwback. Kind of reminds me of like my first couple of years just being out in LA, trying to survive, trying to pay everything. And, it's kind of a crazy place to live as far as money goes. So this kind of takes me to those times I was really hustling hard, trying to just make it and survive in this city. And it got me through some of those maybe hustling days or whatever. Wanted to smell good. I was spraying 1 million cologne. So that's the scent of the day. Let's go see what you guys are wearing today. Drop your scent of the day in the chat. And then we're going to get started talking about, I got some serious heat we're going to be diving into today. Hope you're all feeling well. Patrick, what's going on, my man? It's been a little bit. I know it's been a little bit. And your message on Instagram is really what inspired me to do this today. Wasn't really planning on it. I was like, oh, Patrick hit me up. He's asking when the next live stream is going to be. I was like, you know what? Since Patrick said he's like legitimately reaching out to me and asking, I was like, I'll do it on Wednesday, man. Why not? Let's hang out. Let's chat. Scent of the day, PDM Perseus at work. Hell yeah. Very nice citrusy fragrance right there. Gonna spray some Duo Essence of Vast Citrus water. Wow, what a name. What a name. Let us know what that one's cloning, or is that an original? If it's an original, what are the scent profiles are taken from? But like the name, I gotta say that. Dan, man, what is up, my man? Thanks for being here. Kajal Lamar. Woo! Damn, son, you're killing them today with that fruity sweetness and a little bit of rose for you as well, sir. So Great scent choice. That one's powerful AF. Definitely a beast. Good job, Dan. You killed it today. Need to try Kajal. Icon looks interesting, and I think Ferris is the one that's like an upper scale Sauvage. Yeah, that's going to be the first one we talk about today. And Icon does look interesting. I just saw the perfume guy talking about Icon, and I'd be interested. Anybody in the chat that's tried Icon, how does it compare to Lamar? Is it, to my nose, that Rose and Lamar kind of put it towards the leaning feminine side a little bit, which threw me off a little bit. I did end up I ordered a 10 ml travel spray of Lamar. Ended up giving it to my mom. She loves it. She said she's gotten like endless compliments on it, and I think it really suits her personality and like that fun, fruity playfulness. She's very vibrant and very much into networking, talking to everybody she sees. Kind of. Let me know kind of the differences between that one and Lamar. Does it come across as fruity? And I know there's some pineapple in there. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Oh yeah, we were jamming out today, man. I can't let Dedrick have all the fun with the music on the live streams. I gotta be incorporating some tunes, keep it fun for y'all. William, what's up, my man? Thanks for being here. Drop your scent of the day if you're wearing anything. Henry, one of the biggest supporters of the channel. Thanks for being here, my man. More seasonable day here on the East Coast. Okay, Prada L'Homme Intense. Damn, son, you're killing it. Prada L'Homme Intense is one of the best iris fragrances on the market. It is so freaking good. If you guys like Prada L'Homme, definitely try out the Intense. And if you're looking for it on a budget, you can grab the Making Sense version called Iris Man Intense, and it is excellent, but obviously never as good as the original. Henry, you are smelling phenomenal today, my man. Killing the game. Hope you're doing well. La Corday. Okay, not familiar with that one. Let us know what that one's all about. Have no idea about that one. Out here wearing Ramon Manajal Ole. Wearing some kind of Dua, on brand, but here you are wearing some what appears to be niche fragrance. So times are changing for Vincennes, it appears. Let me know what that one's like. Where'd you pick up a bottle of 1 million cologne from? I'm guessing eBay. Yeah, I did see on eBay there was one going unboxed for I think $48, and that was pretty reasonable. This original bottle that I got is like nearly a decade old. I don't remember exactly when this came out, but maybe like 8 years old. And the top note was a little soured, I will say, but I also have not kept this stored that well. And over the years, like the first 4 or 5 years, I was probably keeping it in my bathroom and in the heat and the sun. Who knows? Honestly, this bottle's been through a lot. But after the first kind of 10 minutes, that top note, it was not a big deal. It smells just like it always did. So people talk about fragrances expiring, like the first 10 minutes were maybe a little different, but other than that, it's I smell it coming off my wrist right now. It smells just like it always did. But yeah, I did get my backup bottle on eBay. Good question. Sven, what is going up, my man? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Scent of the day, Polo Ultra Blue. Can't go wrong. Super versatile. Great choice, my man. Essence of Vast Citrus is a fusion of Lamensite and Acqua di Gio Essenza. Wow, that sounds really good. Grapefruit and Broxton DNA, a little bit metallic, aquatic, herbal qualities of Essenza with Lamensite. I'm assuming some of that grapefruit in there. That sounds like it would be a really nice blend, taking some of the greens from the Acqua di Gio, mixing it with kind of what's popular right now with the grapefruit, ginger, sparkle effervescence that is Lamensite. Wow. I bet that one's bomb. Nice one. Vince, just a decant. Truth comes out, my man. It's all good. Hope you are at least enjoying that decant and you don't have to go take a shower and scrub that off because you know how that goes sometimes when you are testing stuff out. Sometimes it's a red alert. William, what is up, my man? Lemon tea scent. I already said hi to you, but thanks for being here anyway. It's a great niche house started in Spain. Maybe you've heard of flamenco. No, but I have heard of flamenco guitar music. So is it inspired by that at all? Which is one of my favorite like ways to play guitar, basically. It's really nice. Scent of the day, Cool Water Wave. Gian, what is up, my man? Thanks for being here. Cool Water Wave is so freaking good, dude. You are killing it. I absolutely love Cool Water Wave. I got a 200 ml that's got a serious dent in it. Um, you did well today, my man. I really love that one, especially for the summer, dude. It's like Invictus Aqua meets Cool Water, but it's so good for the price. It's really excellent. Good job, bro. Um, Quasha 4 from the North Stack Expression. Okay, so I think that I don't remember if that one's the Afternoon Swim or the Imagination. I know one of those. I know the orange one's the Afternoon Swim, and then the Imagination's like that green one. But either way, they're both, I've heard, smell really good. So, Steven, thanks for being here. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm happy to see you here popping into the live chat. Hope you're doing well, and I know you're smelling good today. All right, cool. Seems like we are near the bottom. Let's get started. We talked about it briefly mentioned here, but one of the first like kind of recent pickups that I had was Kajal Ferris. So tried Lamar. That was, a fragrance I really enjoyed, but maybe not my particular taste. But I already knew the quality with this brand and the quality they provide. So I was interested to check out Ferris. If you guys have watched my content at all, I'm a big fan of like the Sauvage scent profile, and I have way too many fragrances that have that scent profile. It's pretty redundant, but I wanted to get my nose on this one. Everyone's talking about how it's basically better than Sauvage, yada yada yada, and I was like, I'll be the judge of that. Hold your horses here, folks. It is excellent. I'll say that it is a little bit more on the aromatic side than Sauvage. You don't get as much like synthetic ambroxan pump, I guess, which is a good thing. And if you're more into like the quality side of things, you may enjoy the quality here. I'm not saying Dior Sauvage is not high quality, because it absolutely is. You just, I guess, don't get as many of the synthetics that you would in the Sauvage as you do. Rather, you get more in the Sauvage than you do here. A lot of the aromatics are really the present thing here. You get a lot of the lavender. You get this kind of cooling blue shower gel type smell in the air. When I first got this one in, I did this, and I caution you guys about doing this, but you probably already know because you're pros. I did the spray, and then I went right in, and I was like, whoa, I don't know if that's for me. And the aromatics just kind of like punched me in the face super hard. And I was a little bit like, damn, did I just blind buy this as a total mistake? But thankfully, I wore it the next day, which is, how you should be testing the fragrance. And then I wore it the day after that. And then I wore it the day after that. And by the second or third wearing, I absolutely fell in love with it. I understood the comparison to Sauvage because I was picking that up in the air. A lot of times when you smell a fragrance just like this, you don't really get the full picture. You just get like this really up close, intense version of what it is, because the fragrance kind of mixes in the air when you actually wear it. So let me know what you guys think about that. There's certain fragrances, and Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense sticks out to me in particular, to where you want to really wear it and try to catch it in the air, then smelling it up close and maybe a little bit too intense or too off-putting, and it may throw you for a loop, especially if it's the first time you're smelling it. But I've grown to really enjoy this. It does kind of have some redundancy to Sauvage, but if you love that scent profile, you're going to get some use out of this. This is a very versatile fragrance. You could wear this all the time, every day, and great performance here. Great long-lasting power. Sauvage sometimes gives me this kind of feeling of being like on a mountaintop, like on a snowy, chilly mountaintop. And I know people talk about Creed Himalaya having that sort of effect, that like icy cooling effect. But for me, the Sauvage scent profile really does that for me. And I think it's just that blue shower gel freshness, but it really provides kind of like the standing on a mountaintop in the snow, like hiking Mount Everest, cooling sensation for whatever reason. But yeah, great quality scent. It's not going to be anything that's super different for you. So if you're looking for something completely unique to what you already have, this may not be it. But if you want just something that is mass appealing with great quality, great performance, and you can wear in many situations to work, going out, yada, yada, you're going to just get some real use out of this bottle. Kajal Ferris is going to hook you up. And it's really one that I've been enjoying since wearing it. And this cap, I don't know, I get like sketched out about it, because yeah, you can pick it up, but it doesn't have that feeling of like sitting like super snug. Some caps, like you just put it on, you just like have no doubt Oh yeah, that's holding in place. This one's kind of like it is holding in place, but I don't know. I think there's a little bit of juice missing, so it's better. It's better now, but there's something about it. Like I didn't get that click. I didn't get that like that grip on the collar that kind of freaks me out a little bit. But it's pretty good as you can see now. So that's the first one. Let's get back to the chat, and then we will keep this party train rolling. Let's see where I was at. I will admit I missed some times, but they hit a lot. Well, you probably got to the point where you can look at some notes and kind of identify if that's something that you'd enjoy or not, because you're pretty damn experienced at this point. I mean, you've probably smelled as many or more fragrances than I have. I mean, um, so you probably are at that point where you can like look at the note breakdown, and you won't ever obviously know exactly what it's gonna be like, but you can at least give yourself, a thought as to, yeah, I probably like that. A more natural smelling Sauvage seems up my alley. I see it for Grant saying there's a bit of Percival quality to it with the apple and amberwood. No, I don't get the Percival tie-in. The only part of Percival that I get is the lavender, and I think that's where people are comparing it. But yeah, I don't get that fierce scent profile really at all with this one. And I think it's just that lavender that people are reminded of Percival. And I mean, both Sauvage and Percival are, at the end of the day, blue fragrances that are fresh with a lavender kind of prominence. So even between those are some similarities, but I don't find it to have that kind of like rosemary and heliotrope and Percival fierce type DNA besides maybe the lavender. Definitely closer to Sauvage, minus the Ambroxan sharpness, minus the Ambroxan syntheticness, more of the aromatics coming through to provide the freshness versus the Ambroxan synthetic nature of Sauvage. Good question though, because yeah, I have seen people make that comparison. Yeah, it's definitely worth a sample. Certainly worth a sample. If you enjoy Sauvage, it's definitely worth a sample. And they're like $100. And when you're talking about value for quality, there, it's really there. Jay, what is up, my man? Light Blue Intense is up putting up close. King Eros, aka Celtics. Thanks for being here, my man. Let us know your scent of the day, even though I know it's probably Versace Eros of some form, which I do have a Versace Eros of some form here as well. So that's actually a good segue. Thank you for providing that for me. Eros Flame, guys. So the rack stores have kind of been kind of bad, but lately they've been getting a lot better. I've found some pretty decent fragrances at the rack stores. Once again, hallelujah. We can go and we can treasure hunt like addicts that we are, right? We can go out there and have fun again at Ross and TJ Maxx, hoping to actually find something cool. I paid $40. This is a 30 ml. I looked around online. That seemed to be what these are going for. Never really going to need more than this. This is my favorite Versace Eros. The Eau de Toilette is really cool, but it's a little bit played out at this point, and it's not for everybody. It's got that like Tonka sweetness, that thick, sharp, aggressive, in your face kind of vanilla sweetness that not everybody's about. And I really enjoy the take on this one. It doesn't really smell like Eros, to be quite frank. It's like a completely different type scent profile. But there is a beautiful orange note in the opening. I wore this yesterday. You can't really see, but I've already put a little bit of a dent in there just from wearing it yesterday. I just kept spraying and spraying. I was like, damn, this is solid. I'm really happy I got this, basically, is what I kept thinking. Because I had tried it at Sephora a couple times before. And I was thinking, my first time I tried it, I was like, whoa, I really like this. Like, this is full bottle worthy. And the second time I tried it, I was kind of like lukewarm about it because I had tried some other stuff. And, comparison is the thief of joy type of thing happening that second time. So I got this. It was a fair price, sprayed it on, and I really enjoyed the wearing experience. So happy to have this, happy to add it to the collection. The star of the show is really that citrus and bright orange in the opening. That is just the best part of this fragrance, and kind of dries down into like a sandalwoody type thing going on. Not super crazy. A bit of aromatics too in the mid, I think. I don't remember the exact note breakdown, but the things that stick out to me really is that orange citrusy opening. That's really good. And I got really good performance and lasting power. I was wearing this one all day yesterday. I was picking up whiffs of it all day. After the first 2 hours, it does sit a little bit closer to the skin, but it still is projecting. So if you're sitting in like a space like this and you're just working away, you're going to keep getting little whiffs of it. And it's going to fill the area around you, and it's really nice. Have you guys tried Arrow's Flame? What do you guys think about it? I really enjoyed wearing it yesterday, and I'm happy to see that you can find some good fragrances at an affordable price popping up at rack stores again. It is nice to see. So Arrow's Flame, compliments of Mr. J leading me into that segue beautifully. Well done, Jay. Well done. That happened to me with Jasad Ambassador. I was looking for Sauvage right away, and I was like, I don't know, man. But as the minutes went on, I was like, oh, okay, I see it. Yeah, and similar type. I would so this one, Ferris, is more natural smelling than Ambassador. Ambassador also has that thick kind of synthetic ambroxan heft to it, and that is also a very strong fragrance. Man, I got a funny story about Ambassador. So I love Ambassador too. That mango sweetness really sets it apart, right? So I was going to a focus group, and I don't know if you guys know what a focus group is. You sit in a group and they ask you about a topic, and you give your opinion, and they pay you for that, basically. I wore Jasada Ambassador to this focus group, which is fine. It's a good choice to wear to, maybe an office setting, but you want to dial back the sprays. I overdid it. I oversprayed the hell out of myself, and I was so embarrassed. I was driving there with the windows down because I knew I overdid it. I was like, man, you guys ever like overspray and you can put all the windows down in the car? Like, I need to just brush some of this off of me so that hopefully when I get to my destination, I'm not going to just choke everybody out. So we get into the focus group, and like all I'm smelling is just Jasad Ambassador. I'm starting to feel like super self-conscious about it. So like we're all sitting around a table, and there's one seat left between these two girls, and I take the seat, and I'm like sitting back here. Like I got like 3 feet of room. It was very strange. Like the table's way in front of me. Everyone's sitting right up on the table, and I'm like 3 feet back here because I'm like, yo, I do not want these girls to pass out or just completely choke them out right now because I know I overdid it. I'm gonna ruin their life for the next hour and a half. I sit right next to them. So that was just like a funny situation. Yeah. You got to watch out with Ambassador. That is such a strong fragrance, and it's easy to overspray, right? Because you love this fragrance, you just want to freaking douse yourself in it. And I'm that too, but whew, it was a rough one. Hopefully those ladies didn't mind it too bad, and it wasn't like they were like the most beautiful ladies to where I was like, yeah, I really want to sit right next to either. Smell my fragrance, which I don't know why I just said that. I thought that was just trying to be funny, but it wasn't. Anyway, moving on. I prefer summer vibes to own intense since I got it. Since Dolce Gabbana didn't. Yeah, I actually prefer summer vibes too. But the fact that I own intense, it's like your fate is sealed with intense. You cannot get summer vibes. You cannot have redundant fragrances. So that's what's going on in my head. But yeah, if I could go back in time before I bought Intense before Summer Vibes came out, and I could see into a little crystal ball in the future. Like, don't get Intense. Summer Vibes is going to come out, and it's better, and it's the same type of smell. Yeah, I would have waited and just got Summer Vibes, and you can get that one for like $40 or something. It's crazy, very underrated, and I think it's just because it smells similar to the Intense, less aromatics, a little bit more modern, more citrusy, more fresh, and yeah, a little bit better. But I don't know if it's as long lasting. So the Intense may have it there. Let's keep it moving and grooving with Corey Martin. What's up, my man? Thanks for being here. Ooh, Mont Blanc Individual, unfairly hated, unfairly dogged on by some in this community. It is a pretty good fragrance. And again, another one that if you smell up close will throw you off because it has got some synthetics, but I was rocking that one for a good part of my life. That's one of the fragrances that I was rocking as a kid all the time, and it gives me that nostalgia feeling, kind of like the 1 Million cologne. Wore that for many years of my life. You are smelling good today, sir. I can say that with confidence. Generally, I know when I'm taking a risk. Good thing about duos is they sell easy, so I can always have the money back instantly. That is good. That is good. That's a good point. Let's do duo talk. My gosh. You wish, bro. Now we can talk some duos. I really only have 2. That's why we need you in this space, Vince. You're the duo guy. That's your lane. That's why people go to your channel, because you're the king of the duos. So yeah, there you go, Patrick. You get it. Vince knows about the duos. Let's see. Anything interesting here? Jay, I like Flame, but the EDP is my favorite. Okay, yeah, I've only tried the EDT, so I gotta try the EDP and the Parfum before I start crapping all over Versace Eros. Okay, let's keep it going here. What should we do next? What should we do next, folks? Let's go with something a little different. All right, Juice Box, Cheeky Smile. This is a weird fragrance, guys. Um, so I checked out the whole Juice Box line or all their brand or all the fragrances or whatever. I got a sampler set from eBay. It was pretty cool. I think you get like 15 different samples, and they're 5 mLs. They had good sprayers, so you could really get to know the fragrances. And I went through them all. They have a lot of really good ones from this house. Night Flow is a really great leather fragrance from them. Beat Cafe is sort of this like whiskey and I think tobacco, like super masculine, spicy wintertime, you know, hair on your chest, kind of like Thor type of dude wearing that scent profile, super masculine. They have Feel and Chill, which is cool. It's like a watermelon, citrusy, fresh. They have another one called Good Morning, which I was a huge fan of, and I actually preferred that to Cheeky Smile, and it really wowed me. You know, gave me that shock factor that you look for when you want a new fragrance. You know, does it move you? Does it make you feel a certain way? Does it throw you off balance because it smells so good? And it did. But the problem is, I don't know about spending $150 on a fragrance that just is aquatic and citrusy and fresh when I could just rock something like this. L'Homme Cologne Blue, which I wear all the time. I love it. You see the dent. And, you know, this goes for like 65-ish bucks. So sometimes with these niche fragrances, even if they smell really good, you need to have a certain scent profile to them to where it's worth spending that crazy number. And this one was. This one is such a strange fragrance, guys, but I love it because it's weird and because it's unique. And anytime I can find something that I like that smells completely different than anything I have, that's really when I'm like getting trigger finger itching type thing to spend some money on a fragrance. Basically, it's a molecule fragrance. So you get a muskiness to it. You get a shitload of ISOE super. So if you know Diorum 2020, just take out any kind of woodiness or anything else besides the ISOE super. You get amberwood here. You get ambergris. You get ambro fix. You get like amber times 10, like every kind of nuance of amber. It's got every modern synthetic chemical that you could possibly imagine in here. And you will go nose blind to this so fast, at least I do, almost immediately. But then I end up catching whiffs of it throughout the day. If you have ever smelled Banana Republic's Pure 90 White, this is kind of like a niche version of that, except a lot more ambroxan, a lot more synthetics going on. There's not a whole lot of synthetics in Pure 90 White, but it has that white, musky type of tone to it in the same way that this does. This bottle's pretty cool. It does glow in the dark a little bit. And this brand is interesting. They combine music with fragrance. This particular fragrance is based off of a genre called acid house, which is really big in the 80s and early 90s too. And it's interesting for me because I actually produce house music, which is, you know, kind of like a more modern version of what once was considered acid house. And I thought this fragrance really fit kind of my career and everything really well. And someone described this fragrance as smelling like TV static, which is kind of a funny way to describe a fragrance, but pretty accurate. This, if you can envision what TV static might smell like, yeah, you get it. So a strange fragrance, but an interesting fragrance that everybody around you will smell. I mean, it's got so many damn synthetics that it's just like it's a crazy experience. If you guys know ISOE Super, it has like a certain sparkle and really intrigue about it. And the scent trail that this one leaves is crazy. It's like, I don't know, it's just a TV static, musky, ambroxany, ISOE Super synthetic beast type fragrance. So that was Juicebox Cheeky Smile. I like the name too. I think it's intriguing. It's another day. Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. Okay. Hey, that's a great fragrance. I can't say anything bad about that. Unfortunately, I sold my Eros Flame. I thought the opening was beautiful with the orange and Chinotto. I didn't know that chinoto was in it or what that really is, but yeah, that orange smell is super nice. Dry down was too cloying and insane projecting. Got so much powdery tonka in the dry down. Yeah, I could see that, but I kind of like the fact that the performance is there. I mean, and it just continues to go and go. So I could see if it's a little bit too much for you, but yeah, the best part of the fragrance is definitely that orange opening for me as well. It gave me headaches and stuck to my clothes for days. So parted ways with flame. Yeah, I could understand that. Um, you got to kind of wear a fragrance a couple times to really know how it projects and how many sprays you're good with. And sometimes until you get to that point, you can overdo it pretty easily. So these days, especially, I try not to spray in this area at all. I usually even go under the shirt just to cut down on the projection a little bit, or on the sides or on the back, but just like try to avoid this area. And sometimes I've noticed if you spray on your arms a little bit too, you can smell it pretty well without going as nose blind to it. I really like Roja Burlington 1819. Dua Burlington Gardens is almost spot on, tested side by side. Okay, I've been wanting to get my nose on Burlington 1819. I heard Ross talk about how it's like this masterpiece of perfumery type thing. So maybe I could start with the Dua and just get a little taste, see what it tastes like, or a little sniff on that puppy. Windows down in the car, overcorrecting, forever spraying is hilarious. Yeah, man, you've done it too, right? I can't be the only one that has done that. It's not possible. Did anyone comment on your cologne at that focus group? No, they didn't. And but I think they're just being nice, right? Because in my mind, I'm like, oh my god, I'm choking these people out. But you never know. That could just be in my head. Maybe in their mind, they're like, wow, this guy smells really great. I wonder what fragrance he's wearing, but I'm kind of afraid to ask him. But in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I overdid it. Why am I so awkward? Why am I this way? Anyway, Caribbean Supernova is a blend of virgin island water and Roja Elysium. Sounds bomb. Sounds pretty good. Let's see what else is going on. Siage Saint, hello. Thank you for being here. Arrow's Flame is very good. Enjoy your content. Keep it up. I appreciate the vote of confidence, my man. I will do my best to keep pumping out the sprays and the content simultaneously. Just curious, what scent are for fall are some of the viewers most looking forward to wearing? That could have been a good topic for this live stream. Maybe I'll do that in a video soon. Is it time? Is it time to start talking about fall fragrances? When is it time? Because we're still in August, but maybe we're sick of hearing about summer fragrances. Maybe it's time to move on to fall. The thing about LA, especially where I live, it's very delayed with the heat. So like June, July, no heat, no biggie. But now August, it's getting toasty out here, folks. I'm sweating a little bit talking to you right now. I didn't even finish reading that. L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. Yeah, I heard that one is really good. Don't have any experience with guerlains, I know. Shocking to say and hear from a person doing fragrance content that they never tried a guerlain, but it is what it is. There's a crap load of fragrances out there, as you guys know. Just got some fragrances in for fall. Prada Ocean Parfum. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, you sent me a picture of those that you got in, and they're all really good, man. The Le Parfum is pretty nice. I wasn't a huge fan of the EDP of the Ocean. I got to revisit it. I think it's just because the name threw me off. I was expecting a flanker to the original Ocean Eau de Toilette, which I really enjoy. I think that's a great fragrance. The Eau de Parfum had that like caramel note, and I was like, this is like a wintertime fragrance. It threw me off. So I need to revisit it. But the Le Parfum is really nice, powdery, classy, gentlemanly. And I love Prada fragrances. I love the way they come across. I like how they kind of like stay a little bit in close. They're not really punching anybody in the face. They're not grabbing people by their hair nostrils and tugging them over to you. They're not, too youthful. They're just gentlemanly and classy and luxurious and elegant. I really enjoy the Prada fragrances. Armani Code Parfum, basically everything I said about the Prada Le Parfum, copy it over. I mean, it's got that iris, which is really great. And to me, it's the best Armani code that I've tried. Absolute is really good as well. It's got that suede nuance, but Armani Code Parfum is just chef's kiss for me, at least. Jazz Club, I respect, not for me. Kind of smell a little funky to me. I don't know, but I know a lot of people love Jazz Club, and that's like a community darling. So can't be talking smack about things everyone loves, or else you're just gonna piss off all your freaking subscribers, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, Jazz Club just wasn't for me. I'll put it that way. 1 Million Parfum, love that fragrance. I actually bought that fragrance. I've been waiting for like over 2 weeks for it to arrive. I got 2 to 4 days shipping. It's been over 2 weeks. So yeah, I don't know. They sent it to LA. It got to LA. It was in Venice, which is like 10 minutes away from me. And then they sent it to Philadelphia, and now it's in Arizona. So it's just, it's touring the US real quick before it makes its way to me. It's just, it wasn't meant to be that I got it that fast. So it needs a little, put some miles in before it comes my way, I guess. Yeah, I've been talking to USPS about that. Fun stuff, right? I like to check out their Blue Talisman in Burlington 1819. Let me know what you think about their Blue Talisman clone. I actually have that one. I thought it was pretty good. I just never tried to do it before, and the kind of like thickness of their fragrances kind of threw me off a little bit. I mean, I understand people want beast mode everything all the time, as strong as you can make it, but sometimes, I want that little sparkle. I want that little effervescence. That's kind of part of wearing the fragrance too. But I thought the actual scent was really good, and their Summer Hammer clone is like pretty spot on. Again, they do have that like thickness to them, which is kind of why I prefer Alexandria, but they get the scent profile as close as far as what I've tried. So I will give them that. Looking at the note breakdown, cheeky smell, it's all man-made aerochemicals. Yeah, it is. It's funky, man. Does it smell like white musk and a little touch of amberwood? Yeah, basically, it's like white musk and Isoe Super, and it's also strange the way you smell it, because all of those aroma chemicals, you'll go nose blind to one. So like you'll be picking up one aroma chemical more, and then you go through your day and you're like, oh, I just got like this aroma chemical that I wasn't even smelling for the last 3 hours because I was nose blind to it. But yeah, it is white musky, but it's also a fragrance that you could probably layer with a lot of fragrances, and it would work. But yeah, white musk is the essentially main backbone of it, I would say. If you ever smelled Banana Republic's Pure 90 White, that's the closest thing that I can compare it to, like as a cheapie, but obviously much higher quality, and it's not the same. People compare a little bit of Baccarat Rouge 540 to it, which I do not get that at all, because I'm not a BR 540 guy. I don't really like BR 540, so I was really kind of like shocked to hear people making that comparison, because I didn't really get that at all. I have the Discovery collection from Juicebox, and the story behind the names are so damn cool. Yeah, that was one thing that really intrigued me about them. I was like, wow, this fragrance band is really doing something different and really interesting. And as a music lover myself, I could really their storytelling aspect was working for me, and I like their bottles. I was listening to Acid House from Kiki in the Boiler, and she destroyed it. Yeah, hell yeah. I wonder if she was wearing Cheeky Smile, or she should have been at least. I like their Blue Talisman Club. Michael didn't think much of it. See, it's not that I didn't think much of it. That's not true, because I did like it, and I do think it's good. I just wasn't. That was my first Dua, and it's more like the thickness of those fragrances that I'm not sure about. Yeah, I just kind of wish that they were a little bit sparklier or a little bit brighter. Kind of like when you get a lot of like pretty expensive fragrances, you notice that they have this like brightness and airiness to them, depending on the scent profile, obviously. But something like a Blue Talisman, which is supposed to be a fresh fragrance, I at least enjoy that like sparkle and effervescence to it. But I think it smells good. I don't think it smells bad. I didn't dislike it. I've worn it several times, so I think it's pretty good. Just wasn't sure about the quality, to be honest. Churgi by Serge Lutens. Do I nail that one too? Recent pickup. Nice. I'm going to start pulling out my French accent as much as I can a little bit. I really don't have the forum to use it too often. So got to be pulling out my Francais. I was watching the, I think, Prime Minister of France doing the closing remarks for France. That was pretty funny. Gotta imitate him a little bit, practice my French accent. All right, enough rambling. Let's get to the next fragrance. Day 3 fragrances, Downtown Deja Vu. Have you guys tried this one? It is a freaking banger. So this is basically supposed to take you to what the mall smelled like in the 90s, which I was born in 94, so I can't really tell you what the mall smelled like in 90s, but if it smelled like this, Smells really good. Uh, it's a fresh fragrance. It's a casual summertime type of wear. I wore this at my gig last week, and it was beautiful. Really enjoyed the wearing experience. Really made my 4 hour set fly by and increased the, I don't know, I just liked wearing it. It made the day better. Let's put it that way. Trying to be fancy here with my vocabulary. You get this cotton candy accord, which is really cool. And I don't know of any other fragrances that have this cotton candy accord. It's fresh, but it has this like sugary sweetness to it as well. It's kind of like walking past a Cinnabon. It's got weird notes too. If you look into it, it's got like a fresh t-shirt accord and like a, I don't even know, Macy's perfume counter accord. So if you ever have somebody who's asked you, like, do you know a fragrance that just kind of smells like what it smells like at the perfume counter at the mall? You tell them about this one because that's essentially what this was made to be. Just smelling like going through the perfume counter at the mall with some of the other scents coming in, like the Cinnabon and whatever else they got over there. So it's a fresh fragrance that leans a little feminine, but I really enjoy wearing it. High quality with day three, and the value that this brand offers as far as like the quality of the oils for the price that they're charging, it's really unbeaten right now. It's really crazy. I'm gonna spray a little bit of this on. It's talking to it. Oh yeah, one other thing. These these have that snug kind of fit, like I was talking about with the Ferris that I didn't really feel, but with these, like it is on there. Like I don't see. I didn't even put my hand under because I had that confidence in how snug this cap fit. So I really enjoy that little design aspect of it. Let's get a little bit on skin here just to relive the magic that is downtown Deja Vu. And let's see. Oh, yeah, it's got some citruses too up front. It's fresh. I love that cotton candy accord in here. I've never smelled something with a cotton candy accord like this. It's unisex, maybe leaning feminine. You know, there's that women's fragrance, that pink sugar or whatever. It definitely doesn't go that feminine, but it's got a little bit of that. And I really like that. If you like sweet fragrances, you know, but fresh and sweet, that combination is my jam. It's fucking sick, guys. This is a great fragrance, man. Downtown Deja Vu. For those maybe more experienced, does this smell like the mall in the 90s? Because it does kind of smell like the mall in the 2000s. But like I said, born in 94. Can't tell you it does smell like the mall in the 90s. That would be making me a hypocrite. Okay, let's get back to this chat. Vince is wearing fall fragrances already. Bust them out, man. Wear whatever you want. I wore freaking Dior Homme Intense last week, and that was a winter fragrance, you know. The fragrance police aren't coming for you. Maybe just me. Maybe I'm just gonna give you a hard time, but you know, you can take my criticism. Might as well start with the fall videos. A lot of the other channels have already started doing them. Yeah, yeah, but it's like if you started too early, then you're like it's fall and you've already done like 15 fall lists and now you don't know what to do, you know? So we'll see. I had a video that I did long lasting summer fragrances. I think people want to see stuff with performance because I hadn't put out a video in like 11 days. And then I got this bright idea. I was like, let's do a long lasting summer fragrances because I think that's what people might want to see. And it got like 1.4K views, which for my channel is a lot, especially being completely off the algorithm. I hadn't been uploading every day like I kind of did in the beginning. So I was really shocked to see that I got that many views. So that just lets me know, okay, people want performance. People want to see about long lasting fragrances. And so, you know, I'm going to try to just do more beast mode stuff, which I guess that's why Dua makes them super strong because that's what people want. So that makes sense, right? With Ocean Parfum, I really like the saffron accord. It comes off a little leathery. Gives me really nice fall vibes. Yeah, saffron always comes very leathery to my nose as well. Always think of leather when I smell saffron. When I smell Louis Vuitton Ombre Nomade, that has a lot of saffron in it. And I'm like, how is leather not in this fragrance? But you know what I realized is leather. It's always like it's like a synthetic, right? There is no actual leather note. They just have different ingredients that they use that end up smelling like leather. Um, I think if that makes sense. So there's just different ways that they can create a leather accord with different oils that they use. And I don't really know too much about that. You can talk to Nate over at Paragon. He seems to really know these chemical terms or whatever. But long story short, there's different ways to make leather. So saffron is one to my nose that always does actually carry that leather smell very prominently. Um, but I actually didn't get much leather from Ocean Parfum. I have limited experience with it, mind you. I've only smelled it one time off my skin, so very limited my experience. But leather was not one of the things that I really thought about. But maybe if I wear it more, I'd get that. But I just noticed it was really like kind of powdery and sexy and elegant and classy, gentlemanly. Yeah, but bro, I hate when your package goes backwards. What the hell's with these postal carriers doing? Yeah, I don't know, man. And I'm not gonna get too upset about it. It's not like I need another fragrance, even if it gets returned to the sender and I get my money back, like okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. But yeah, it is kind of like I bought this from you because it said 2 to 4 days shipping, and now it's been over 2 weeks. So it's like, uh, can I really trust that it's going to ship in 2 to 4 days? It says that, you know, little shady, but whatever. Life goes on. It's all trivial. I'm not here to complain. Like it goes to the next town. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. And they pretty much lost it until I put in a request, like a missing mail request, because I saw I was in Venice, just like right down the street. I was like, okay, cool. It's gonna be here today or tomorrow. And then all of a sudden it's lost. I'm like, okay. And somehow it got on a plane and went to Philadelphia. Maybe just wanted to check out Eagles training camp before the season started. You know, it's an Eagles fan. Wanted to see Jalen Hurts spin the rock, maybe. Can't blame it. Or 1 million Parfum. It's my favorite 1 million. I have them all except two, which are Privé and Cologne. Yeah, 1 million Parfum is it's creeping up there. I still have 1 million Lucky. That's still gonna be my all-time favorite. But the Parfum is a close second. But yeah, it's really nice. And it works well in the heat too. I had a little 10 ml travel spray that's pretty much all the way done. So wasn't sure if I was going to get a full bottle, but as I kept wearing it, I was like, yeah, all right, this is sick. And I like it more than the original. So I like that white floral accord. I think it makes it just a little bit more interesting than the original. But you can still wear the original too. The original is all time great fragrance. According to Quentin Biche, his inspiration for making 1 million Parfum was when he spilled sun lotion in his leather travel bag. Strange combo, but that works for me. Interesting. Uh, I don't really get the leathery facet from it, but I definitely get like original 1 million. I definitely get that scent profile, that grapefruit kind of sweetness and spice, whatever. And obviously the white florals giving that sunscreen type smell. I think tuberose, um, maybe jasmine. Is jasmine in it? I don't remember, but I know there's tuberose for sure that gives off that white floral type element that often does come across sunscreeny. Patrick's life. That's a cool story too. I dig it. It was a brilliant idea. Brilliant. If I'm a duo guy, you're a Banana Republic guy. Yeah, I used to be. I am, but I've sold a good amount of them. I only have 3 right now that I've held on to. Tobacco and Tonka Bean, Metal Rain, and Grassland are the 3 that I have kept. And I'm not going to sell those because I love all of those. I thought Dark Cherry Amber was pretty good. Just didn't see myself wearing it too much, but I think that one's really good too. Vintage Green gets a lot of love. And no, it does not smell like Oolong Cha. I'm sorry, but to me, no, it does not. Vintage Green is a lot more kind of like earthy, masculine, aromatic. It's got this like hay like earthiness to it, and Oolong Cha is like citrusy, bright, fresh green tea. So I don't really get the comparison, but to each their own. Our noses are all different. I'm not here to criticize anybody. I'm just here to give you my perspective, which you may or may not value. Hopefully you do, since you're here. But yeah, Banana Republic, I think any of those, as far as just like the quality goes for the price that you spend, the icon line, hard to beat. Hard to beat with the quality. It really is at that price point, the $20 price point. Your quality is great. And Metal Rain, when I smelled Silver Mountain Water, I was like, dude, Metal Rain is spot on. It's crazy. All right, let's get back into one of the fragrances here after this comment. All right, bust out my day 3 resprayed downtown deja vu. Yeah, check it out, man. And smell for that cotton candy accord, because that's really my favorite note in that, is that cotton candy. I'm like, damn, that really is what sets it off for me. Because without that, I think it'd be a little bit like it'd just be like kind of like another fresh fragrance, fresh citrusy kind of fragrance. But that cotton candy sugary sweetness is really like what sets it over the top, and what has ended up making me want to get a bottle. All right, we got a few fragrances here. All right, let's talk about this one. This one is cool. This is another one that I found at Ross recently. This is Ralph Lauren's Polo Black. It's a bit of a throwback, but it's great. And again, easygoing, fresh. You could wear this all the time. It's not going to blow your mind, but it's got a little bit of a mango fruitiness to it, which is really interesting. And I wore this one last week. I was at a company type barbecue event, and this was the perfect fragrance for that situation. It's a good fragrance to where you know you're going to be around people who are maybe not fragrance enthusiasts. You don't want to, you're not looking to kind of stunt. You're not, and it's a daytime event. It's kind of warmer, backyard barbecue. This is a great, perfect fragrance for that type of situation. I was smelling clean. I was smelling professional, and I had a little bit of intrigue with that mango fruitiness going on without being overly overpowering, without being too prominent, without making too much of a statement that it became unprofessional. Let's get this one on skin a little bit. See what we got here. Yeah, you get that mango fruitiness, and just a nice woodiness. It's fresh. It's like it's got a bit of a citrusy quality to it as well. It's designer, you may think it's a little bit basic, but it's really like enjoyable just to smell and just to wear. I don't know. It's kind of been out for a while, and you can get it for a good price, but it's just an enjoyable wearing experience, which is what really comes down to. And that mango note in here. If you're a fan of mango and you enjoy Ralph Lauren fragrances and you have some experience with them, I think this one's definitely worth picking up. You can get it for a good price. And performance is decent on it, but it's kind of like a hidden gem these days. People don't really talk about Polo Black anymore. I know it's got some flankers too. I'd be interested to try it now that I've gotten some time with the original. Let's do one more. So this is Killian. This is Born to Be Unforgettable. This is a Coca-Cola type fragrance. So whenever I say Coca-Cola, immediately people will think Tonka Cola. This does not smell like Tonka Cola at all. Tonka Cola has a lot more of this vanilla ambery warmth going on. That's definitely more of a wintertime fragrance. This is a more summer and springtime fragrance. It's a lot more zingy. It's got this lime note that's really prominent here. That lime zinginess sets it apart. And this one is named perfectly, because if you want to be unforgettable, this is the kind of fragrance you wear. This is going to make an impression on someone. It is fresh, but it has a nice Coca-Cola lime zinging effervescent sparkle to it. And it's really, you want to stick out in someone's memory of smelling really good and really different and interesting. This is what you go with. I do have a full bottle on the way, but this is my 10 ml that I'm just kind of trying to work through before the full bottle gets here. Came into stock at Fragrance Buy, so hopped on that. I've been kind of waiting for it to come in stock at a good price, so snagged that up. But Killian's Born to Be Unforgettable. It was made by Alberto Marias, king of the freshies, and he's got another stunning one here. I saw one review that was comparing this to Blue Jeans from Versace. Doesn't smell like remotely, even like remotely like Blue Jeans. So I disagree wholeheartedly with that comment that this smells like Blue Jeans, because I don't even find them to be in the same like universe, to be quite frank. And I have Blue Jeans, so yeah, Born to Be Unforgettable. If Coca-Cola is a note that interests you and you find it appealing, which I really do, you may want to get your nose on Born to Be Unforgettable. They have it at Sephora, or most Sephoras. You can check this one out. See how you feel about it. Let me grab a little water here. Oh, should we play a little bit more music just to you don't have to hear my voice so much? Let's go back for a second. Give it a second here. Vibe out. All right, let's keep grooving. That was nice, right? All right, so I got these two little puppies here from Alexandria. Now, I've been going with travel sprays a lot because you never really go through a whole bottle, and a travel spray of 10 ml will go a long way. So I got two. One is the Herba Pura, I believe. Let's see which one. Okay, that's going to be this one. This one's their Herba Pura Inspiration. I've been wanting to get my nose on the Herba Pura scent profile. This is Tropical Aura. It's called Tropical Aura. And these things are cool. Basically, they go in here, and it's like a little lipstick thing, turns, and then you can spray it. Check out the mist there. Pretty good sprayer. Nothing crazy, but really wanted to get my nose on the Herba Pura scent profile because I had tried a fragrance called Turquoise Water from Precious Liquid, and I had heard that that one is similar to Herba Pura, and I really like Turquoise Water. So I was like, okay, I got to try out this Herba Pura scent profile. So I got this Tropical Aura from Alexandria because they're known to be really close to whatever they're cloning, right? And I love this scent profile. I really strongly recommend, if you guys have a similar taste to mine, if you like kind of sweeter, tropical, sunscreen-esque, maybe a little bit like shampoo type fruitiness to it as well. Like, so I heard someone say fructise shampoo, which I get some of that definitely. Maybe want to check out Tropical Aura just to see if you enjoy that kind of Herba Pura scent profile. It's kind of a hyped fragrance on TikTok from what I've heard. I don't know. I don't have a TikTok. I don't watch TikTok. But apparently there's a lot of like people recommending this on TikTok. So it's kind of like growing in popularity right now. But yeah, it's a fun fragrance. It's a fun summer fragrance with a lot of fruitiness going on and a lot of sweetness and a little bit of this like shampoo type of scent profile going on as well. So you may find you really enjoy that. And then the next one is Smooth Sailing, which is their 40 knots inspiration. And I get a lot of honey out of Smooth Sailing. And honey is a note that I don't really technically vibe with all that often. It's kind of a note that throws me off, but the way that it's done here is really, really nice. Really love Smooth Sailing, and 40 knots may be on the bucket list in the future just because I've grown to love this scent profile. I first got it, didn't wow me just because in that haul that I got this scent profile in a 5 ml originally, I had some real bangers, had some Pacific Chill or Pacific Coast, Afternoon Splash, a lot of the Louis Vuittons that came here. So it kind of got overshadowed. But now I've had some time. I've come back to this Smooth Sailing 40 knots clone. And yeah, I'm really loving the way that the honey comes across here. It's fresh. It's interesting. It's a niche fragrance that is wearable, a new type of scent profile for me. So that's always really fun when I can find a brand new scent profile that doesn't remind me of anything that I've tried before that I enjoy. That's like one of the most fun things about this hobby is just discovering something new that you really love that you had no idea that you were even into before you tried. So that's always really fun for me in this whole journey. And we'll just wrap up the list since we're getting close to an hour here. Kind of in that same vein, but doesn't smell at all similar. This is Summer Hammer from Lorenzo Pazzalia, the current hype beast. Everyone's talking about how awesome this is for good reason, because it is that awesome. This is another fragrance that completely shocked my system when I first smelled it. I was at a place where you smell niche fragrances or whatever downtown called Scent Bar, and everything was kind of starting to smell alike. I don't know if I was going nose blind or what. That was probably it. I was just starting to go a little bit anosmic to everything. but everything was already kind of starting to smell like the same. And then I smelled this and I was like, whoa, this is completely different. This is what I've been looking for. I wanted something completely different, but sweet and fruity and just captivating. If I'm going to spend, a crazy number on a fragrance, I want it to like wow me. I want it when I smell it in the air to just move my senses and throw me off balance a little bit, might have to regain my equilibrium. I might be walking out with a slight lean after smelling something like this. So it moved me. What can I say? You get a lot of red fruits. I get kind of like a strawberry smell to it. You get pineapple. You get all the fruits, like a big bowl of fruits. You get some like slight booziness on the undertone. I think it's like a rum, a quart, or something like that. But yeah, it's a stunner. It's really a stunner. I want to try more from this house. I want to try the Sangria, the Arctic Sea, and this one's been getting hyped for good reason. This 28 ml does look pretty pathetic. I will admit that, but you only need 3 or 4 sprays of this beast because it is a freaking hammer. It is appropriately named. It's dropping the hammer on your nostrils every time you wear it. So I love it. It's my favorite tropical fragrance right now. I'm putting this over Lamari Porthole. I know that's blasphemy to some of you, but for me personally, I think it's just part of the experience that I had when I smelled it the first time. I think that plays into that role because I'll never forget that feeling that I had in that experience I had the first time I smelled this and how much it just wowed me compared to all the other stuff I was smelling that day. So Summer Hammer, man, I smell that Herba Pura in the air and I'm just like, God damn, that smells so fucking good. Guys, you want to check out that Herba Pura DNA. I'm telling you, that is just like, it's crazy good for me. I really love that scent profile. I know a lot of you guys have similar taste to me in here. So definitely get your nose, at least experience that scent profile in some form or fashion. I appreciate everybody being here over an hour. We'll do, I don't know, like 10-ish more minutes. If you guys have any questions for me, if you want to drop any recommendations or if you need any recommendations or have any specific questions about the fragrances we talked about Juice Box, Cheeky Smile. We talked about Downtown Deja Vu. Talked about Summer Hammer. We talked about 2 fragrances from Alexandria. They're Herba Pura and 40 Knots inspirations. We talked about Polo Black. Sorry, I dropped it. I know that was probably loud and kind of annoying. Polo Black. We talked about Killian Born to Be Unforgettable, and we talked about Versace Eros Flame. And we also spoke about Kajal Ferris. So if you guys have any other questions about these fragrances, let me know. Otherwise, we'll kind of begin to wrap up here. A couple of new pickups include Invictus Aqua 2024, Wave Child, and Dolce Melodia. Okay, I got Dolce Melodia today. They had one bottle that had a leak collar and a broken box, but it was like $135, and I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'll fix the collar. I'll figure out a way. I like that price point. And yeah, Dolce Melodia I heard is like the best Suspiro. I love vibrato. I love the quality on it. So I can only imagine how good Dolce Melodia is going to be. So I did pick that up actually this morning. I was looking on Fragrance Buy and I happened to notice they had one bottle with like leaky cap or whatever the hell that even supposed to mean. You get the collar, but for a huge discount, I was like, all right, I'll take it. I'll fix the collar if I have to, whatever. Invictus Aqua 2024, nice, very nice. I love that scent profile. It's one of my favorites. And Wave Child, I'm not actually familiar with that one. I like the name. But yeah, dude, those are stunners. And you're going to be closing out summer in style. I mean, I already know you got great fragrances, but those are just bangers. I need to find another word for banger. Slapper, stunner, nosegasmic, perhaps I'll start using. New Mugler, the Phantasm. That one looks really good. Where'd you get that one out? I didn't really see where they're selling that one. Or maybe I don't know if Fragrance Buy had it, but yeah, the chocolatey note sounds pretty good. I don't really know about the Amen. I mean, I've heard people talk about them, but when I joined into this community, I don't know, like a year or two ago, those are kind of already old news. So it's like a relic of Fragrance Com past that I missed out on, unfortunately. Um, but I maybe want to check out that Phantasm one day, somehow, some way. Yeah, Dan, you killed him, man. It was and just casually, Absolute Aventus, Triple A's. Just casually. Oh yeah, forgot about this $300+ fragrance. I see you, Dan. Getting applause. Well, that Polo Black poor performance on me though. Yeah, performance is not great, but that's why I like these little 30 mls. Like I put this little guy in my pocket and go. I really enjoy these little bottles because you can take it with you, especially when the performance isn't good. Just give me a little bottle. I'll bring you with me. I'll respray in the bathroom. I don't care. Fun casual night out. Radio and arcade, amusement park, carnival, movie night. Nothing too serious. That's the situation I see for it. Yeah, absolutely. It's a fresh daily type wear, casual fragrance, which I like those kind of fragrances. I mean, a lot of my collection are fragrances like that, just because you get the most use out of that. You can wear them in the most situations, and I'm not always wanting to smell like an intense iris or an intense leather. I'm not ready for all that. Sometimes I just want to smell good and feel good, and that's it. I'm not really looking to blow people's minds, but sometimes should make a Polo Black parfum and amp up the performance. Yeah, I don't. They have a double black. I think they got some other ones too, but I know they have a double black. I don't know anything about it though. But yeah, if they made like a newer version of that, see, that's what we needed instead of 67. Like 67 is cool, but it's like, how many fragrances smell like Polo 67? Like endless fragrances, right? And they already have the Ralph's Club line, which is basically two of the three are blue fragrances as well. So yeah, give us like a Polo Black Parfum with. That's a great idea, Patrick. I'm with you on that. Born to be Unforgettable, really nice. Yeah, kind of weird though, right? A little interesting, a little unique. Definitely more of a fragrance for someone that has a good amount, and you gotta like that Coca-Cola line. But yeah, I'd like it too, and it's got me some. It's definitely got me compliments, like which doesn't matter obviously, but we like to bring that up as a way to like justify how good this fragrance is. It got me compliments, therefore it's a good fragrance. That's a whole nother topic. Urban Pure Gold now too. It's a slight twist on the original. I love the 10 mls too. Yeah, I gotta. So I know like Suspiro has Urban Pura and Zurzov has Urban Pura, and now they have Urban Pure Gold. So we'll see if I can. We'll see if I can get maybe try the gold. They like gold over Pura lately. Yeah, maybe I don't know if Alexandria has a clone of the gold, so maybe I'll try that one. But this original scent profile, it's working for me. I'm enjoying this one for now. Maybe once I get through this, we'll dive into the gold. Good way to wrap up live. Maybe talk about a couple of fragrances you're most excited to wear in fall once the temperatures drop a little. Yeah, sure. I'd be down for that. I'll give you guys maybe some stuff I'm thinking about wearing. Wave Child from Room 1015, one of my newest pickups. I'm loving it. Okay, yeah. Dan also said he just got Wave Child. I wonder what you guys heard about that one, because I know we watched some of the same people, but maybe I just missed out on that one. I'm gonna look into that after the stream ends. I'm gonna look into Wave Child, see what that one's all about. Do you already have it, obviously? So can you tell me a little bit about it? I'm assuming it's aquatic because it's got wave. It's like aquatic citrus. Any fragrances you can compare it to? Is it pretty unique? I like stuff that's like pretty different than stuff that I already have. Let me know your analysis. Dan, feel free to chime in as well if you're still watching. Oh, you got on the Mugler website. Okay, yeah. I imagine there was not much of a discount going on there. I usually like to wait till it hits a discounter, so I'll just have to be patient on that one. But no worries. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and may you wear it in good health, Dan. I really appreciate your constant support on this channel and other channels too. I see you around the way, so definitely a big supporter of the fragrance community and us people who like to live stream about fragrances for whatever reason. Thanks for supporting me. All right. Polo 67. I thought it was redundant. Yeah. I'm on that same page. I like Polo 67. I thought it smelled good. Just was super redundant for me. There's no reason I need to own it. I mean, I got too many blue fragrances as it is. I mean, we talked about Ferris today. So I thought I will take the Polo Redline base, blended with Ralph's Club EDP, the sweet pineapple. Yeah, It didn't really, honestly. It was just kind of like it's good. It's good. I If you have it, wear it, enjoy it. Just maybe more for people kind of maybe starting their collection. I think that it's has more of a place for people just kind of building into the fragrance world or whatever. Watermelon candy aquatic. Wow. Okay, I am interested. I'm definitely looking into Wave Child after this. Um, yeah, I think Patrick wanted some fall fragrance I'm looking forward to wearing. Yeah, I'll give you guys some fall fragrances I'm looking forward to wearing. Let me grab them. I'm gonna grab them. They're right here. I'm just gonna grab a couple. Just spur of the moment. I'm not gonna put too much thought into it, but I will grab a couple here. I'm gonna make some room. I know that probably sounded great, right? All right, for the fall, what am I gonna wear? Let's see. Oh yeah, definitely grabbing that. Oh yeah, got some good ones in here. I'm gonna go through them pretty quick here. Got so many in my hand already. It's crazy. All right, I'll grab one more. Maybe stuff that you guys don't already know. Um, I've grabbed way too many fragrances just now. I'm gonna try to go through them quickly. And a lot of them you may know, so I'm gonna try to give you guys stuff that you may not be as familiar with as well. Oh, okay, this one too. All right, that should be good. That's a lot of fragrances. All right, maybe this one too. Okay, I can make a whole list video off the fragrances I just grabbed. All right, it's getting toasty in here. All right, so some fall fragrances. Strong With You tobacco. Super ambery, super spicy. Definitely get tobacco in here. You get like sweetness as well. It's a beautiful fragrance. I wore this on a date last week, and I don't know if it's a first date type fragrance. I thought I went a little bit. It does have like some niche type qualities to it. You know, it's not really I mean, it is a designer fragrance technically, but if you didn't know that this was an Armani fragrance, you may very well think this is a niche fragrance just because of the nuance that it has and the kind of complexity that it brings to the table. Yeah, probably won't be wearing this one on a first date again. I think it was just a little bit too intriguing, too interesting. I should have gone with maybe something. I usually go with La Nuit Alone, Blue Electrique. I think I'd just go back to that, but this is one I'm looking forward to wearing. It's a really great fragrance. I think you guys are going to love this one. And I'm not usually into these warm, spicy fragrances that much, but this one for me did the trick. Prada Black. You guys probably know Prada Black. Pretty interesting. It's like kind of like black soapy. It's kind of basic, but also unique at the same time, if that makes any sense. I know it's an oxymoron. It probably smells like Van Cleef's and Arpels Midnight in Paris. Never tried that fragrance, but it's discontinued, really hard to find. And I know that this is supposed to be like the closest thing to it. First smelled this one once my nose was not as developed as it is now. Blew me away. And then as I kind of got my nose on more fragrances, I kind of realized how much of like kind of a basic designer this is, but it smells really good. I actually wore it last Friday to a gig, and I like this fragrance because you can wear this to the office in like professional settings. I usually go for something a little bit more professional when I'm just going out and about, and this one works even though it's a little bit more of a seductive scent profile per se. It works in professional environments really well too. And again, I love these product fragrances, just the way that they sit kind of closer and they don't announce themselves necessarily, but they do project quite for a long time. They have good longevity with not like too much projection, just the right balance. This is probably my favorite, one of my favorite Iris fragrances, if not my current favorite. I got two. I'll just bring them. So here's like two Iris fragrances that I really love that I'm going to be wearing way more in the fall. Ross Club Elixir. It's got more of the orris root, and you get some vetiver, and you get some kind of like I guess smoky, earthy nuances here too. It's a beautiful blend. It's both these fragrances are more dressed up, but I wear them casually because I don't really wear a suit and tie all that often. and I love a good iris. But yeah, you going for an iris when you're in a like suit and tie seems to be the appropriate situation for iris a lot of the time. But yeah, either one of these are really good. This one, Diorum Intense, is quite a bit sweeter, and you get more of like this, I guess, lipsticky type smell that people talk about. This waxy iris, whereas here you get more of like this earthy kind of rooted iris with some other nuances. It's not this one iris is more in the blend, where this one iris is like the main star of the show with some added sweetness too. But both these are really great fragrances if you're an iris lover like I am, and yeah, definitely. These would probably been better date night choices, especially this one, man. I go back to this all the time. I love Ralph's Club Elixir, guys. I think that's just such a stunning fragrance. All right, Old Faithful here, Le Male Parfum. It's a 4.2-ounce bottle. You can't really see, but I'm probably like here on it. I go really hard on this one. This is one of the only fragrances in my collection that I have a backup bottle of. Do not let this bulge fool you. This is not a joke. It's a great fragrance. Kind of a weird bottle, I know, with this whole line, but again, some iris here, some cardamom, some vanilla. You get the Lamal tonka bean type DNA here, but it's more refined. It's a little bit more modernized, and it has a bit of like this powdery nuance to it. So you got to like powdery fragrances because this is pretty powdery at the end of the day, but it's sexy. It's long lasting. And I'll never forget when I bought this, I tried like 20 different fragrances at the Macy's counter. It's making them spray all these fragrances that I learned about from Fragcom or whatever. And yeah, I ended up going with this one, and the ladies were shocked because this was actually before the hype of this one grew. They were very surprised that I ended up choosing this one. They're like, "Are you sure that's the one you want to go with?" Like kind of judging me, like, "Are you sure that's the one that you want?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure that this one is the one." And then lo and behold, people started getting their nose on it, and now it is the hype beast that it is. But the good old bulge of Le Male Parfum. Um, the only bottle I have a backup bottle of, which is interesting because I found it for I got the backup bottle a 4.2 for $70, which is a crazy price. Um, so I'm almost done with that one. So and now I have an excuse to like spray the hell out of that one. I don't have to conserve it. This next one is called Attar Kaltat Night. Joel's Matrix, who is not in the chat right now, but he's often here. He's my only moderator right now, and I don't really need moderators right now. I'm not big enough, but maybe once we get further into this live stream game, I'll get more. But every time we talk about French Defense being the best cherry fragrance, either on Ross's channel or on Dedrick's channel, Joel was always quick to mention Kaltat Night to rival it. And I had bought a couple fragrances based on his recommendation. So I was like, you know what? No one's like giving him the time of day. And I'm like, Joel deserves better than that. Like, I'm going to try this fragrance. I'm just going to blind buy it, just go based off his recommendation. And it's not the same cherry as French Defense. French Defense is more of cherry forward, but you do get similarity to like Angel's Share here, which is a great fragrance, but it removes the booziness from Angel's Share, which I really actually prefer this one for that reason. You get this candied kind of apple smell. If you ever smelled those Yankee candles, you know, the cinnamon apple Yankee candles, it's basically what you get here. Lasts a long time. Quality is good. You can get this one for like $70. Pretty cool bottle too. Cap does fit snugly on place. Looks nice. It's very interesting looking and stuff. I got that Middle Eastern design or whatever. But the cherry comes out more as it's matured. But I would say in the order of like list of prominent notes, it goes cinnamon is number one, undoubtedly cinnamon. And I don't normally even love cinnamon fragrances, but this one, it works for me. Apple at the number 2 spot. So you got like a cinnamon apple pie type smell. And then the cherry would be at the number 3 spot. So the cherry comes out more as it dries down a little bit. And as this bottle's mature, I do get a little bit more of that cherry sweetness than I did initially. But it's an excellent fragrance. If you like gourmands, if you like Angel Share, if you like PDM Wajan, stuff like that, you can get your nose on this one. I think you'll really enjoy it. Long-lasting power, good quality, and the whole shebang with Attar Kaltat Night. Not really sure who I'm supporting with this brand and where my money's going, but you know, Joel doesn't miss, so I had to take his word on that one, and he didn't miss on that one. That's for sure. Couple more here, and yeah, so this is my favorite woody fragrance. This is Michael Jet Black, Jensen's Jet Black Enigma. That's got to get your nose on this one. This is my favorite woody fragrance. This is another date night fragrance that's really good for evening time situations. It's got this coziness to it. It's got a good amount of spices to it, and it's got this. It's warm but not ambery, just woody and spicy, masculine. Uh, Lasts a long time, and it's got a certain coziness to it, which I really appreciate. Perfect date night, going out, nighttime type situation. A really excellent woody fragrance. Jet Black Enigma. Love this one. And yeah, Ash is, one of the guys that got me into this whole hobby. So I think part of it's that too. That's why I tried it. I wanted to try his fragrances and figured I'd buy one at full retail just to support him and kind of give it back, because I've spent a lot of time watching Ash, and when I didn't have anybody to hang out with or whatever, and I was feeling lonely or whatever, I'm not here to cry anybody a freaking river over here. Just being honest, I'd be watching Gen Sense, and then I'd be like virtually hanging out with Ash or whatever. So that was really cool, and I was really appreciated him for being a virtual buddy when I needed one or whatever. I know that sounds super lame, but that's the truth. Which, I mean, it's kind of the reason why I like doing this too. I mean, we're just virtually hanging out, right? Like for people that work uh not at a company with other people, like you want some socialization, you want some interaction, whatever. It's fun to hang out with people with similar interests. So that's basically all we're doing here. Anyway, Black Gold from Mancera is probably my top 5. I love this. It's like niche Acqua di Gio Profumo. I think either Ross or Dedrick said, and that's a very accurate statement here. You get a lot of incense. You get the aquatic. You get a violet leaf, which gives it this kind of like sparkle, this effervescence that violet leaf has. Violet leaf can often have this ozonic property to it. You get some incensey, you get some patchouli that gives it a little bit of darkness and masculinity to it. Does nuance quite nice, lasts a long time. This is certainly a niche fragrance and a little bit more divisive, but for those that like this scent profile, you're going to fall in love with it. I immediately fell in love with this. Masculine, aquatic, incensey. If you like Acqua di Gio Profumo and you want kind of like a niche take on that, doesn't smell exactly like, but you'll understand why people say that when you try Black Gold. So it's a great fragrance. And the last one that I guess I'm looking forward to wearing is Carolina Herrera 212 VIP Black. Between this and Spice Bomb Night Vision EDP are like kind of my 2 favorite clubbing fragrances when I want something like sweeter for going out and going out to a bar or something. I like this one a lot. It's got this absinthe note. It's got like a black licorice type smell, and don't let that throw you off, because I know for a lot of people, black licorice is like, not really something they enjoy. But it's a great blend here overall. It is still a designer fragrance. It's easy to wrap your nose around, so to say. But it does have some interesting nuance with the absinthe and black licorice. Kind of has this like mystique and interest about it. It's like a fragrance for like a mysterious individual. So, if you consider yourself the next international man of mystery, you may want to be wearing 212 VIP Black. How do you like that for description? Originality, that's the one thing I can promise you here. Not saying I'm the best nose or got the best collection or anything, but you will get some interesting statements, some original statements that you won't hear anywhere else. If nothing else, at the fragrance fraternity, the only fraternity that sprays alcohol when they drink it. All right. The voice is starting to fade here. So let's get to the bottom of the chat, and then we're going to wrap up. Hopefully there's someone else streaming today. We can kick it virtually. I got to go to the gym too. I'm sweating over here. He's the moderator for Fragcom. That's right. Him and Jared are the mods of these 10 channels. It's true. Hey, man. They're good at it. Combines the 2 favorite notes, cardamom and iris. Yep. It's in my top 10. It's definitely in my top 10. Probably my top 5, maybe. Citizen Jack Absolute for Michael Wool is really good. Yeah, that one's cool. That one's like a more like tropical type, coconut type smell. I like that one too. That one's solid. I have a travel spray of that. I wear it from time to time. Big. Yeah, I don't know where that belongs. I love the 202 on the OG VIP is still my favorite. I respect that. I respect that. That's a good fragrance too. I prefer the black, but I got love for the original 212 as well. Surprising Gris Charnel didn't make that fall list. Yeah, well, I did just do this off the cuff, but yeah, I mean, I don't have Gris Charnel. I do have that Francique 63.55, which I talk about a lot. And I mean, all right, we're talking about. I'm gonna grab it. Yeah. Yep. This one, another Joel Matrix recommendation. Go figure. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can see, but there is this is a strange thing, but I don't think you can see, but there is a little bug that is in this bottle, and it's become like immortalized in. I don't think you can see it, but there is like a little bug that is in this bottle. Like it must have just flown in when they were bottling it, and now I think the alcohol has preserved this little bug's body. So me and this little bug have been enjoying Gris Charnel, and it's so funny because like I tried to spray him out of the sprayer so he'd like get sucked up and maybe sprayed out or something. I don't know, kind of a dumb idea, but I want to get it on camera so you guys can see this little bug. You can kind of see, you see that little speck? That's like a little bug in there, and the alcohol has preserved his body. So me and this bug are taking on a ride of Francique. But yeah, I love this scent. I love the Gris Charnel scent profile, black tea, fig, cardamom, in that kind of date night, seductive scent profile. I saw Fragrance Net had testers of Gris Charnel for $100, and I didn't buy it, and I kind of regret it. And I'm like, damn it, I should have got it for $100 when I had the chance. I know Venba has some for 140, but you know when you see it for 100, you don't want to pay 140. You want to get that price that you saw it at originally. So I'll wait. I've been really good with this. I'm gonna just keep using this for now. And if I see Gris Charnel for $100 again, I'm gonna have to snag it because I mean the quality here is good. I don't. This doesn't smell cheap at all, but you know nothing ever beats the real deal, right? So it's good to at least start with the clone and pick up the real one if you really love it. Which I really love this scent profile. It's um it's excellent. Get your nose on Gris Charnel, and I actually prefer the EDP to the X-Straight. I know some people like the X-Straight more. I do enjoy kind of like the blend just on the EDP a little bit more than the X-Straight, but the X-Straight is good as well. It's just an X-Straight, what you would think, just thicker, denser, more intense. But yeah, Gris Charnel, Renzi 6355. Yep. I mean, just got to give credit where credit is due, my man. You and the bug are kindred spirits because of that fragrance. I know we really are. At first I was like thinking I should return it because I was like kind of grossed out. I was like, why is there a bug in my fragrance? But now it's kind of like he's like my little buddy. Every time I grab this, I'm like checking up on him. I'm like, are you still alive? Have you disintegrated? Has the alcohol kept your body intact? But yeah, he's immortalized in this alcohol. It's like it's keeping his body from, I don't even know. He's like mummified or whatever. It's weird, but he's the homie. Never bug bottle talk on any other stream. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I bring to the community. People ask me why I start a channel. What am I bringing to the community? You're never going to get this anywhere else. Thank you, Vince. At least you can appreciate what's going on here. You know, not everyone sees genius in what I'm doing, but you do. So thank you. Some recognition finally for my weird quirks. My quirkiness is appreciated. All right. I'm losing my mind over here. It's getting hot. I'm talking about freaking bugs and bottles and random crap. So I think it's time to wrap this up before I say something that's going to get me canceled. Appreciate you guys being here. I really do have love for everybody who comes and talk about fragrances, something that lifts our spirits up, something that we can all bond over. And that's why it's called the Fragrance Fraternity, because we are creating a community, a fraternity of people that like to smell good and have a good attitude about life, that like to get after it, that value smelling good and that value being a good person. That's pretty much it. So until next time, guys, I guess I got to make some fall content now. I guess you're saying you're ready for that. You're ready for the fall scents. You're sick of these summertime freshies, which I get. So perhaps a beast mode, long-lasting fall list will be coming your way shortly. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Keep smelling great out there. Keep being positive members of your community, and keep the spirits high and the sprays on maximum. All right. Appreciate you. Peace out, everybody. Next time, I'll see you at the Fragrance Fraternity. Take care, guys. Later.